During the down phase, the entire raid will be taking 2000 to 3000 shadow damage every 2 seconds. That's it for phase 2, just keep repeating that till he reaches 50%. When he reaches 50%, he will do a big purple light show in a circle around him, and phase 3 will start. A few seconds after, 2 portals will appear that you can use to go back into the up phase. At this point, you want to split your raid into 2. Half going in the up phase, the rest stays down in the down phase. You want to keep your 2 highest DPSing melee and 2 healers in the down phase and send the rest to the up phase. It's important that you do not just run straight to the portal and teleport up to the up phase, since even though he has gone into phase 3, the timers for the Twilight Cutters do not reset, so if you start running to the portal, the beams may spawn and kill you. So if you take him to phase 2 while the beams are up, wait until your safe zone comes within range of a portal before you run. Since the tank and his healer stayed in the up phase during phase 2, they will be able to deal with it for some time themselves, so there is no rush in getting up there. During phase 3, both the up and the down phase will be the same, you just have less people in each. The only difference will be that you have to even the DPS between the 2 phases because of the new debuff in the boss called Corporal Reality. You should get a percentage number when you reach phase 3 at the top of your screen that will help you control this. This number will be the exact opposite in the up and the down phases. So for example, if it says 20% in the down phase, then it will say 80% in the up phase. What you want to do is to keep that number at 50%. You do this by ensuring that the damage reduced in both the up and the down phase remains the same. Should one side do too much damage, the percent number will start to be lower than 50%. Since you have 5 DPS in your raid, you will always get uneven damage, so you want to pick one of the 3 DPSs up top to control the damage done. He will simply stop his own DPS if the number gets below 50%. The general concept behind the Corporal Reality debuff is this. By doing damage to Halion in one realm, you affect his Corporal Reality in the other realm. Basically, if the up phase is nuking way more than the down phase, they are pushing Halion out of existence in the up phase, which will make him harder to hit, and make him do less damage in the up phase since he is fading away. But in turn, it will push him further into the down phase, making him easier to hit in that realm, but also forcing him to hit harder as he is becoming more solid. In theory, this means that the debuff itself will regulate the damage done in each realm, forcing it towards 50% as one side is forced to do less damage. But it takes time for this to happen, and often you can get as low as 30% in one realm before you start to see the debuff making a difference. This is simply too low. You should never go below 40% in any realm, since the spells the boss do, like soul consumption, can start to kill you if you're any lower than that. If for some reason you cannot see the percentage number at the top of your screen, which tends to happen at times, look at the boss's Corporal Reality debuff instead. If it says he is doing more damage, you will need to start doing higher DPS. If it says he's doing less damage, you need to relax with DPS for a bit. Should one of the realms wipe, Halion will start to regenerate health quickly. Should you lose some players along the way, so that one realm has too few players to even the DPS, some players will have to swap realms. To do this, simply run to one of the 2 portals and click them. It's important to note that if you're going to the down phase, you want to communicate with the players down there as to when it's safe to enter, so that you do not teleport straight into a Twilight Cutter beam. That's it for the general tactic. I'll now go through some of our raiders' personal tips and tricks that they use for the fight. For the tanks in both the up and the down phase, using the trinket Sylvagosa's Flawless Fang can be a lifesaver to help with breaths when your healers are running. Especially in the up phase can this be useful, as you only have one healer and he will be running to the wall of fire to place fire combustions at times, which leave you with no heals. Communication in the up phase between the healer and the tank is crucial. Your healer will want to make his tank aware that he's running away from a meteor or a fiery combustion, so that the tank can pop a cooldown to stay alive. When it comes to tanking the down phase, you want to make the raid aware every time you start to move. What you want to be looking for is when the timer says 10 seconds until Twilight Cutter, you wait until you're in between 2 portals, and then you start to rotate the boss, keeping between the 2 portals. You will then be safe when they cast the beam. When it comes to healers in the down phase, having a lot of haste can be useful, especially for shamans, since they will be spamming chain heal. As a healing priest, you want to make sure you bring the body and soul talent for this fight, since the increased movement speed will help immensely on people with fiery combustion or soul combustion. As a ranged DPS in the down phase, abusing all your instant cast or fast cast spells such as Scorch is what you have to do when moving. Do not try and stand still to cast a fireball or the like, it's not a DPS race, and it's far too risky to stand still for a long cast. As a melee in the down phase, you really want to be focusing on standing your max range from the boss any closer, and you might get clipped by the beams if the boss isn't standing completely in the middle of the room. As a red free paladin, using your instant flash of light on players with soul consumption may very well save them, and so can your sacred shield. Blessing of Freedom is also very useful here. You should cast it on a player who has soul consumption during a twilight cutter, so they do not get slowed by it. Other than that, if you can dispel or decurse yourself, when you reach the wall, do it. Cloak of Shadows will work as well. This will save healers the trouble, and it will make it a lot easier. I hope you found our explanation for the heroic version of the Halion 10-man encounter helpful. If you are looking for more tactics or kill videos, you can visit www.contingencyeu.net for more movies.